The idea was very simple.
Woohoo! Dude, the top end is mad!
Plastic. Everything is plastic. Hello guys, good morning and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Prasul Banerjee and you're watching Automania. Guys, today we are back at KTM showroom Durgapur. But this time I am not doing any KTM offering. This time I have with me the brand new Hasqvarna Vitpilen. So let's start with the cinematic first. Hasqvarna is a major motorcycling brand, but did they start by making motorcycles? No guys, they used to make guns, and that is also eminent in the logo of Hasqvarna. Hasqvarna is a Swedish company which was part of a Gajiva group, yes, that BMW one, if you remember. Then in 2013, KTM CEO Stefano Piero decided to bring Hasqvarna into their group, and that's how the Hasqvarna was revived. And later on, the idea was very simple, to bring in very simple bikes which are street friendly, bikes which are very interesting, the bikes which are having lots of character. Hasqvarna Vitpilen is a KTM Duke 250 underneath. Well, if chassis is the same, engine is same, what's the difference? It's the way this bike looks, it's the way the bike rides, the character of a cafe racer, and that's what is a Swedish touch, isn't it? This bike will be available at the KTM dealership, and the production is being carried out at the production facility of Bajaj in Chakan, Pune. The Hasqvarna Vitpilen was launched back in 2019 December month, and after that the bike started coming into the showroom around 2020 February. Since then this bike has received immense attention just because the way this bike stands out in crowd. I mean, if you start with the dynamic first, this bike is totally different from the likes of any other cafe racer. In fact, in this segment, hardly we have any bikes which offer the feeling and cafe racer kind of theme in this price bracket. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think about this bike? The Vitpilen sports a sporty headlamp which is full LED unit. Sitting on top of it is a single port digital instrument cluster, and it shows ample of information. The angular fuel tank stretches up to under the rider's seat. The tail lamp looks different as well. The indicators are connected directly into the chassis. It looks like that, and the number plate will be down below in the rear tire hugger. Well, that's how a retro cafe racer looks, isn't it? The engine produces a power of around 29.36 bhp at 9000 rpm, whereas the max torque is 24 Nm at 7500 rpm. Guys, when I rode the bike, I felt a lot of power at the high end and the mid end, but I still feel the low end is struggling. KTM and Hasqvarna needs to work on the low end torque. Coming to the hardware settings, most of the component is same as that of the Duke 250. The engine, the frame, the suspension, brakes, everything is identical. Its 248.7cc single-cylinder liquid-cooled engine clings onto the trellis frame. Damping duties are handled by upside-down forks and a monoshock. Both are sourced from WP, which is a great add-on, guys. Dropping the anchors, which are the brakes, a 320mm disc up front and a 230mm disc at the rear. Both are accompanied by bi-brake calipers. Dual channel ABS comes at standard with this bike. In the tire department, the rear size is 150 section tire, and which is a tubeless one. And when we come to the front tires, it is 110 section. Well, these tires, I rode this bike and it gave me great feeling and a great grip on the road. Overall, it does goes with the street fighter nature and a cafe racer feeling with this bike. Well, coming to tank capacity, this is a tiny fuel tank over here, 9.5 liters, and with a mileage of around 30 kilometers to a liter. Well, that's a bit of concern. The curb weight of around 166 kgs, this bike is quite lighter. But when it comes to seat height, guys, it is 842 mm. It's too tall. Even when I was riding, I was tiptoeing in traffic. So short guys, if you want to buy a Vitpilen, I think you have to think a bit. Well, let's hear the exhaust note. How did you like the exhaust note of the Hasqvarna Vitpilen? Let me know in the comment section down below. And when this bike comes to pricing, this bike is priced around 2.2 lakhs ex showroom Delhi. So you can visit your nearest KTM and Hasqvarna showroom and get the latest price. And if you are in Durgapur, don't forget to visit KTM Durgapur to get the actual on-road pricing of this variant. The details will be given in the description box down below.
So guys, let's go for the ride review. I'll see you in a bit. Woohoo! Dude, the top end is mad. The top end is simply mind-blowing. It's very good. But I can feel some vibrations, but that doesn't matter. The way the bike pulls from 8,000 RPM is simply mind-blowing, guys. The speedometer is offering very clear view of the gear position indicator, fuel level, the trip meter. This bike is a fun bike. It's a fun little bike. But the position is very aggressive. The way I'm sitting, it's too aggressive, guys. And the ground clearance is horrible. Literally horrible. So, but Hasqvarna has done a good job of providing a belly pan also to save your bike from any kind of damage underneath. It's a different bike. This bike is not for somebody who wants to do daily commuting or go for long rides. It's a cafe racer. So you must understand the history of cafe racers. Cafe racers means the riders used to go from cafes to cafe and race those bikes, you know. So it is not a thoroughbred racer, but the bike will be having all the punch, and the top end will be, and especially the mid range should be very strong in those bikes. So these bikes were never practical, guys. The cafe racers were never meant to be practical. The cafe racers were meant to be mad and impractical. And these bikes does look good. The brakes are nice. Hasqvarna provided dual channel ABS. The WB suspension does a great job. There is a great feedback from the suspension and the front end. Hasqvarna has given very high-end components to this bike. You won't see this bike daily on the road. Hardly any people will go for a bike like this, which is so impractical. Only thoroughbred, passionate guys who has mad feeling for this brand and this kind of looks would definitely go for this bike. And with a mileage of around 30 kpl, this does struggle over there too. So, but still, it's a fun bike. The moment I started the bike and gave the acceleration, I was so happy, so happy, guys. Yes, low end is a bit problematic. Low end, there is no power in the low end. It's very dirty. No knocking, no power. Yes, the moment it crosses 5,000 RPM, the power comes in. So low end torque missing, a very good decent mid-end torque, and the top end is ballistic. It's mad. Well, that's what cafe racers are meant to be. There are vibrations too, and I feel the 250 engine for the KTM Juke is much more refined than this one. But I doubt how much more I can ride in this position. It is too aggressive. The front suspension is feeling so nice thanks to the WP USG, folks. It's really well balanced and well sprung. There's a gear position indicator and also a gear changing indicator. The ground clearance is really bad, guys. I need to go very slow into the bumps when I'm carrying a pillion, otherwise it will get hit. So this is a really big con of this bike. You saw how slow I went over the bump. So this is a really major place of concern if you're getting this bike. Otherwise, bike is good, powerful, and it gives a different feeling. It's a head turner. Wherever you go, people will look at you. What kind of bike is this? They will be asking. So that's it for the ride review. Let me know how much did you like the ride review of the Hasqvarna Vitpilen 250, and if you like it, let me know in the comment section down below.
Talking about the pros and cons of the bike, the first pro will be the way it looks, the road presence. The road presence of this bike is absolutely awesome. When you are taking this bike on ride, this bike will make sure everybody is looking at you. Second is the lightweight. With 166 kg, this bike is pretty light. So when I talk about the cons now, the first will be the high seat height. The seat height is very tall, guys. You have to do tiptoe in every stop-go traffic if you are around 5'6" or 5'5". And next is the seat. The seat is, well, it's okay, but way too small for my liking. It is not broad. It won't give you too much support. Next is the ground clearance. The ground clearance is very low. You would be hitting speed bumps if you are not careful with this bike. So ground clearance is another con of the bike. Next is the pricing. I think the pricing is a bit too high. KTM could have done with the pricing 10 or 15,000 less than the current outgoing prices. That would have been a great aggressive pricing by KTM. When it comes to the competition, this bike goes up with her own cousin, which is the Duke 250, and then there is the Dominar 250 and the quarter liter offering from Suzuki. It's the Gixxer 250. Even Yamaha is also there in the competition list with the FZ25. But those bikes are having different character. The displacement might be the same, but the character is totally different. So it's up to you. Which bike would you go for? Plastic. Everything is plastic. Well, that's a new sexy to make the bike lighter and faster. So that's fine for me, I guess. The next comes the verdict. Should you go for this bike? Of course, yes. If you are interested in cafe racer culture, if you like an aggressive bike which you want to take for a daily Sunday ride, but if you want to ride this bike in a daily basis and commuting basis, so I don't think that will serve your purpose, because aggressive styling, the high seat saddle height, those are a big disadvantage if you are taking this bike for a daily rides. But if you want to look a class about in the crowd, and if you want to be a head turner, then this bike is a big go from my side.
Guys, this is a friend of mine, Mr. Subhadip Karmakar. He deals with KTM and Hasqvarna bikes in Durgapur division. If you guys are interested in any kind of KTM and Hasqvarna bikes, feel free to contact him. I'll give his details in description box down below. And if you have any further queries about this bike, feel free to visit Durgapur KTM. So thank you, Mr. Subhadip, for offering me the bike, for arranging the test rides. You are being very kind to me and Automania. Thank you. We are pleased to have you in Automania.
Guys, how did you like the review of this Hasqvarna Vitpilen 250? Did you like it? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you like what we do, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to Automania, guys. I'll be bringing you exciting new automotive content like this. And it's time to end the video. And as I always say, wear your helmet when you're riding, wear your seatbelt while driving, and never drink and drive. This is Prachur Banerjee. You are watching Automania. Signing off. Ta-da.